Imagine you had a terrible fight with your friend and your friend did not react to it. What would you feel? You will feel frustrated and more angry. What if I tell you there is one brain condition that does not allow people to express their emotions, feel the pain? Why I'm talking about this now? Because today I'm going to talk about one such book where we get to meet one character who is born with that brain condition. Welcome to episode 100 of Pages and Beyond podcast show by Tanvi. Yes, we are on the 100th episode now, and I'm filled with gratitude. And I want to thank you all for being a part of my journey and always supporting me. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about this special book called Almond. It is translated from Korean and it is written by Won-Pyung Sohn. Before I dive into the book and talk about the book and my experience of it, I would like to tell a bit about the author. The author of this book is Korean novelist and filmmaker. She has won two awards for her literary works, one for the book Almond and one for the other book. Her novels are majorly driven by the meaning of human existence and growth. The characters are unique and they are always plot driven. This book is a story of hope, resilience, loneliness, longing, friendship, and along with all of that, subtle humor is there in the seriousness of the tragic events and the circumstances that happen throughout the book. And moving ahead, before talking about the book in detail, I want to give some trigger warnings to the listeners and to the readers of this book that this book has abuse, has violence, this book has a murder. It was a brief account, but it was a devastating event for the main character of this book that I'm going to talk about further. Apart from that, I would definitely suggest you to read this book for friendship and the values it is going to impart in you after you finish reading this book. It follows the story of a teenager boy called Yunjae who was born with a brain condition called alexithymia. The people with alexithymia are the ones who cannot express their emotions, who cannot process their pain. They are nonchalant about anything and everything that is happening around them. Even if you beat them, even if you hurt them emotionally, they won't feel or they won't react the way you want them to. Even in this book, there is one account where the character saw the death of his grandmother and saw her mother lying lifeless there. Later, she went to the vegetative state and admitted to the hospital. He did not react. People considered he might be in shock, but for him, nothing was processable. Like he was not able to process what happened just before his eyes. So mostly he was being tagged as weirdo, selfish, and all that name that people can call him with, he was tagged with all those. In his life, like when he lost his granny and his mother was on bed, he met Gon, whom he bonded with time. As Gon come to know about his condition, and he tried to beat him and see if people are telling it correctly that he's a weird guy who does not react. So he had a very bad fight with the Yunjai, where Yunjai did not do anything, and at the end he said, "Stop it! I won't be able to give you what you are looking for." Just like he was telling him, "Ki I won't be able to react in the way you want me to react, if even if you beat me to death." So that was something that surprised Gon, and later on they bonded and helped each other in their lives to become better. Like Gon would help him with his condition, the things that his mother was doing, like teaching him the ways to react in a certain situation, that Gon was trying to tell him, you should do this, you should do that. And Gon did everything to see if he can react. He even crushed a butterfly to see if he reacts or not, about which he felt very bad later on. And Yunjai also felt bad because of him, that butterfly had to suffer. Coming to the characters, Yunjai and Gon, whose real name was Lee Shu, and there was this girl Dora who became friends with Yunjai. So all these characters represent all those adolescents who are rebellious, want freedom, want independence, and consider adults are just trying to control them. That's how they are, and you are going to connect with them, relate with them for the behavior they are showing. You might have shown in your adolescent and in your teenagers, or maybe if you are someone in your teenagers, you will relate them with very, like, very hard. Coming to the characters of the adults, like Yunjae's mother, Granny, Dr. Shim, who's Yunjae's mother's friend, and Gon's father, who are the adults who are trying to control. Of course, they are trying to control the kids. They think the kids should do or behave in a certain way. Just like Yunjae's mother tried everything to navigate him through his life by teaching him things that he should have had already, like teaching him when to cry, when to say thank you, when to present gratitude. All these things she was teaching him. At the time when other kids were solving mathematics problem, he was learning how to behave and how to express his emotions. In this book, each character reflects on different phases of life. Like the adults show how you have been as an adult, how you have, and the kids show how you have been as a kid, as kids. So each character comes with your own self in this book. Talking about the writing style is thought provoking, evocative, and very engaging. The representation and the imagery of the scene that is unfolding in front of the readers while reading it, it feels like it is unfolding in front of their eyes. Just like the case where a random guy, stranger, who comes on the road and he says, whoever comes in my vicinity and happy, I'll kill them. So that scene for the readers will be so vivid and discomforting that they would feel sorry for Yunjai for not feeling it, for not understanding what he saw in front of his eyes and how he should react. So these pictorial references and the imaginations that this book creates is going to make the readers unsettling and them in discomfort. There will be moments where you will want to just close this book and process the emotions and the situation that just happened in the story. Then comes the emotions. The emotional part that author has tried to portray in this book is very beautiful. Even when it's ironically, it's the story of a boy who can't feel emotions, but the author's way of projecting emotions in this story is so vivid and beautiful that readers are going to stay for the emotions and know what happens at the end of the story, which I haven't told you yet because that is a surprise element of this story, and giving spoilers is not my thing. So yes, you have to check out this book for the story and Yunjai's future, what happened to his mother later on, how Yunjai's life go on. One hint I want to give: Yunjai is at the stage where he is about to die. Now you have to find it out what was that and whether he survived or not. This is that one such book I would definitely and highly recommend to everyone to read at least once in their lifetime, because not just because it is a good writing, but because it is going to impart a little more empathy in you, and it is going to let you understand human conditioning and human behavior in a better way, in an understandable way. Most of the time what happens is like we are going somewhere and we meet a lot of people in our way. Like let's suppose I'll talk about an example where I am waiting for a cab driver or an auto driver, and they are just making up like they are not coming quickly, or they are just roaming here and there, and they are not reaching to me. And then there is a point I want to yell at them, but I resist. I feel like maybe they might have been stuck in traffic, or they might be going through something hard. I just behave politely. I just try to be polite while talking to them, and I see that smile, and that just reminds me of days when I feel bad and I want someone not to just disturb me. They should just stay away from me, and they should not question me. And if someone comes to me and they talk to me politely and just ask me what happened, are you good or not, how that makes me feel. So it shows you receive what you send out. I want to be more thoughtful about my surroundings and the people. There are times, we all know we are humans and we all are having that anger beast in ourselves. So it's genuine to have um, anger at times, but if there is a chance that where you can just resist yourself from getting angry or bombasting and just bursting out on somebody else, try to just be a little more sympathetic and empathetic, and that will change the whole essence of your day. I know I have went a little too far talking about this empathy, because this is the essence that I'm taking along with this book. This book has talked about a lot of things that I cannot just tell you in this podcast, because if I'll tell you everything, there won't be any point of reading this book, and I want you to feel each and everything in this book, because the author's writing style is so vivid. Each time the author has portrayed each character's description, that is so beautiful and thoughtful. I'll give you one example. There's this one line that stayed with me, that Yunjay said, between the mom, the ageless empire, and the granny, the giant, I am the only one growing. It is just a description of his mother and her granny along with him. Like he just thought he's just growing. It felt like mature to not react on things, but his mother and granny had their ways to do things. So if you are someone who want to explore some good writing that imparts a lot of emotions and make you think about what you have just read, then this book is a must read for you. I'm pretty much sure this book can be unsettling, but it is going to be that beautiful book that you would want to come back to again and again. And I don't know if I'm going to pick this book again because of the unsettling and discomforting scenes it is having, but definitely I'm going to go back to all those annotations, all those scribblings that I have done in this book so far. I want to go back to them because the description of every each and everything, every emotion, place, thing, people has just made me feel attached to this book. So if you are someone who want to read one good book for this year, just pick this book. That was all about this episode. I hope you are going to get your hands on this book. If you have read this book already, do share your experience with me. I would love to talk about this book. If you're an author or a community of readers and writers who wish to spread the word about yourselves, do let me know through my Instagram handle, Bricked Insight. Follow me on Instagram to know what's brewing ahead. Stay tuned for the next episode.